Are you thinking about putting your house up for sale? Well, stop until you have a chance to see these important things before you list your house. Hi, I'm Deborah Durbin from Sacramento Good Life Real Estate, and I handle the lovely folks that are between Roseville and Sacramento and up to El Dorado Hills and everything in between. I love living here. I lived in the Bay Area for a long time, but this is where I call my home now, and I'm here to help people make the most money out of the sale of their homes. So, how do you do that? Well, there are certain factors that make a big difference. Buyers come into homes thinking about what their things, their family, and everything about them is going to be in this particular space. They do not want to come in and see things messy. They do not want to come in and see things cluttered so that they can kind of get a feel for what their things look like. And that's why we do a lot of staging and emptying of homes before we sell them. And everyone's saying to me right now, Deb, all I really need to do is put a sign on the outside. It's going to sell. This is the hottest market we've ever seen. And it's absolutely true, except that the goal is not to sell the house. The goal is to get as much money as possible from selling the house. So what goes into making that happen? Well, neighborhood, obviously. A lot of people want to live in neighborhoods that are beautiful and have wonderful schools. Schools are so important, whether you have children or not. The reason they are is because a good school will attract a good buyer. Buyers want to be there for the fact that they have children, or even just for the resale value of the house, the same reason you may have bought in this area at the time. So what do we want to do? We want to make sure that we promote the neighborhood when we sell the house and let people know this is a desirable place to live. The next thing is the configuration and the layout of the house. A lot of people walk into a house and walk out because it's not set up in a way that appeals to a new buyer. So make sure if you have a home that you know may have a little bit of a different configuration than you thought you wanted when you bought it, let's make sure we do the best we can to make it look as good as we can and inviting, open, and light. Those are the things that people respond to emotionally and make them want to buy a house. So we'll look at the configuration too and see how we can make it look as good as we can. The next thing really is additions and things that you may have done since you purchased the house. Renovations make a big difference, but it depends on what you renovate. In our area, as in most areas, kitchens matter most, then bathrooms, and certainly replacing old things like flooring, carpet, things of that nature. And again, back to light. We want to make sure that if you have heavy draperies or anything like that, that we make sure that things are pulled back or even removed to give your home that sense of light and bright. And we may actually paint. And why would we paint? Because we can paint it a lighter color. It will be more attractive, and it's a really good investment if you're trying to sell and get top dollar. So here's the thing I want you to know. When you go to price a house, you need to work with a really good agent. Why? Because most agents will come in and may not understand all the nuances to pricing that will help you market and sell your home at the highest price. So you don't just look at the comparative people on the market, you also look at the things you've done that makes that particular home worth more or less than the thing that just sold. And now, because the market's so fast, we're only looking back maybe a month in terms of what's selling. And normally we would look back 6 months or a year, but we need to know what's happening now. A comp from a long time ago doesn't really matter anymore. And the other thing we want to make sure that we do is we make sure we're driving that price by how we actually position this house. And remember, certain add-ons matter in certain markets. So in the Sacramento Valley area, it's hot in the summer. Pools matter. People would love to have their children be able to swim when they're out of school. In an area like, I don't know, a heavy winter, Minnesota is a great example. If you have a pool in your backyard, you're not going to get to use it quite as much and it won't have as much value. So, the reason I wanted to talk to you about this is because people will pay for a beautiful home that's in good condition and has curb appeal and has interior appeal and exterior yard appeal. And they will actually fight for the sale of that home. And you want to make sure that your home is best positioned for that fight by multiple buyers if possible. We only really need one sales since one person to buy it. But that's not the point. The point is we want to make sure that this house is a house that gets a price that makes you very happy as a seller and actually makes the buyer happy that they got what they wanted as well. So, my call to action for you today is to hire a good agent who can help walk you through this process, tell you what you do and don't need to do, how not to spend on things that don't matter anyway, and how to make sure we do the things that are going to actually bring people into your home. Well, that's it for today. If you need to reach me, I'm available at Sacramento Good Life at Coldwell Banker, Granite Bay, Roseville. My number is 916-303-1888. Thank you for coming to Sacramento Good Life. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.